Hi, I'm Ray with Ray of Light Yoga. I'm so glad you could practice with me. Our class will be beginners yoga, and you'll need maybe a strap, a dog leash, something to, maybe one of those physical therapy straps, and then some blocks if you'd like to modify any of these poses. So let's begin by coming into our Sukhasana or a Savasana pose. I'm in Sukhasana here, easy seat, just sitting up tall here. And then Savasana is lying flat on your back in corpse pose, whichever you prefer to begin your practice. Let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths to settle in. And as we breathe in, we're breathing in from our low belly, filling up the ribs, all the way up to the collarbones is the full yogic breath. As we begin today, just coming into our bodies, closing our eyes, beginning to take 3 deep breaths as we inhale, filling up. Exhaling. Again, inhaling. Exhaling, letting the outside world go. One more inhale, filling up. Exhaling everything out. Going to begin with a body scan and pranayama practice. Pranayama is breath control or breath work, and we'll be doing Apa Japa breath. So as we begin today, beginning our body scan, feeling that warm tingle of awareness at our crown chakra, the top of our head, inhaling. Exhaling, releasing any tension in the head or the neck as we exhale. Continuing down to the shoulders and the arms, inhaling. Releasing as we exhale the shoulders and the arms. Continuing down to the abdomen and the thoracic spine, inhaling. Exhaling as we release the abdomen and thoracic spine. Continuing down to the pelvis and the lumbar spine, inhaling. Exhaling as we release the lumbar and the pelvis and glutes. Continuing down to the legs, down to the knees, inhaling. Exhaling, releasing the knees. Inhaling, continuing down to the shins and the calves. Releasing the shins and the calves. Continuing down to the feet, the toes, and the ankles. Inhaling. Exhaling, releasing the feet. So we begin our pranayama practice. Apa Japa means repetitive breath. So we're wanting to inhale and exhale equal amounts. Let's begin by inhaling, exhaling, again inhaling, exhaling, making the inhales and the exhales equal amounts of breath. Let's do 5 more. Inhales with equal exhales, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhale, again, exhaling. 2 more, inhaling, exhaling, last time, inhaling, exhaling, whenever you're ready, let your breath come back to its natural, unconditioned state, leaving the eyes downcast, and beginning to link our breath with our movement as we come into our child's pose. Hang on to the knees, triangling the knees, big toes are touching. As we exhale forward, stretching the arms out. Most of the weight is in our elbows and our forehead here for 5 deep belly breaths in our child's pose, Balasana. Sinking in with each breath. Letting the outside world go. 2 more breaths here. Letting the belly drop between the thighs. It's a beautiful hip opener. 1 more breath in your child's pose. If you ever feel like you need a break in yoga, this is a beautiful place to go to rest whenever you need to. This is your practice, so please honor yourself as we move through our poses today. Let's begin by coming back into our tabletop pose, planting the hands firmly, making sure that the wrists and the shoulders are aligned and stacked, that the hands are spread out so there are little pie slices between our fingers. The knees and the hips are stacked, and so the knees and the hips are in alignment. Our feet are straight out behind. And then we're coming into a neutral tabletop position, just pulling the belly in for our neutral tabletop, extending out our tailbone here. As we inhale, shining the heart between the arms for cow pose, letting the belly drop. Exhaling, tucking the chin and the tail for cat pose. Inhaling back up for cow. Slightly tucking the chin, shining the heart, opening the chest, exhaling back into our cat. Rolling onto the knees. Inhaling back up for cow. Vithalasana, shining the heart. Exhaling, tucking the tail and the chin. Once more, inhaling back into cow or Vithalasana. Exhaling into cat. Releasing our cat-cow as we come back into our tabletop pose. Again, we're planting the hands, curling the toes, hoisting the hips, downward facing dog. The hands are shoulder distance apart. The feet are hip width distance apart. The knees are bent to give us lots of room in our low back here as we come down into our downward facing dog, our downward V formation. 3 breaths here. Shake the head no, nod the head yes. 2 more breaths in our down dog, pedal it out. Again, make sure you have lots of bend in the knees to give that low back some room as we push the tush towards the sky. Last breath here. On your next inhale, again, let's come down into child's pose, triangling the knees, stretching the arms out again for 5 deep belly breaths here in our child's pose, releasing that down dog and the tension that we just created. Three more deep breaths here. On your next inhale, come on to the palms. Again, coming into our tabletop for our Anja Nyasana, low lunge. We're inhaling the right knee up to the right elbow, bringing the right foot to the inside of the right hand, extending the left leg out long behind us. It's straight behind us. Make sure that your stance is as wide as you need it to be. Come up onto your peace fingers, shining the heart forward. Inhaling up into prayer for 3 breaths here in prayer pose. One more breath here. On the exhale, twist, bringing the left elbow to the right knee for 3 breaths here in our Anja Nyasana twist. Last breath in this balancing pose. As we exhale, releasing our twist, hands go back down to the mat. Transferring our weight onto our left foot, bringing that right leg back for an Achilles stretch and a shake. And then again, triangling the knees, coming down into child's pose for 5 breaths here. Last breath. On your next inhale, come back into your tabletop. Turn the knees back in line with the shoulders here. The knees are lined up with the hips, shoulders aligned with the wrists. Coming into our tabletop, inhaling the left knee up for our Anja Nyasana lunge on the left side, extending the right leg out behind us. Take your time with your stance to make sure that it's wide enough and that that right leg is straight out behind you and that the right knee, you may need a cushion or a blanket or something to make that knee a little bit more gentler down on the mat. Let's inhale up for 3 breaths here. Pulling that low belly in to protect the low back. One more breath. On the exhale, bring the right elbow to the left knee for our twist. 3 breaths here. Last breath. Release on the exhale, coming back to center. Releasing hands down to the mat, bringing the left leg back for an Achilles stretch, releasing any tension in the hip there that we've created. And then coming forward into our rolling over the ankles onto our bottoms for a sitting forward fold. Dandasana. So let's come on to our tush. Legs are straight out in front of us. Toes are pointed to the sky. Feet are active here. Bringing the hands beside the hips for our Dandasana pose, lifting up to create a little bit of cushion underneath the sits bones. Now, if you'd like to use a strap to bring yourself a little closer in your sitting forward fold, you are absolutely able to, or dog leash or robe strap if you don't have a yoga strap. But mostly sitting up tall, we're going to be bending from the waist. So as we inhale, straight spine. Exhaling as we roll forward into our Paschimottanasana, our sitting forward fold. Eyes are to the top of the room. 3 breaths here. If your Paschimottanasana is up here, that is beautiful too. Just honor that. Strap here, bending from the waist. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Release the strap. The palms back up. Bring the left hand to the right knee for our half Lord of the Fishes twist, bringing that right foot to the outside of the left knee. We're planting the right big toe mount, bringing the right arm behind us to kickstand for our half Lord of the Fishes twist as we circle sweep, inhaling the left arm up and over, hugging the knee. Inhaling as we exhale, looking over the right shoulder, finding a little bit more room. Another inhale as we exhale, linking our breath with our movement, looking over the right shoulder. Once more, inhaling, untwisting a little bit, and then going deeper into our twist as we exhale. Releasing the twist. Bringing the right leg back down to the mat here. We're bringing our left leg in for a Janusir Sasana, head to knee. As we sit up tall, our sits bones rotating to the right and then exhaling over the right leg, head to knee. If your head does not come to your knee, that is perfectly okay. And this little handy dandy strap will help you to get a little deeper into your Janusir Sasana. Exhaling as we roll forward. And 2 more breaths. Palms up, ready to receive. Last breath. Walking the palms back up and back into our Paschimottanasana, our Dandasana pose. Beginning here, lifting up the sits bones, making sure they have cushion. Bringing that strap again to the bottom of your feet if you'd like to use the strap. If not, sitting up tall, making contact with both sits bones as we circle sweep the arms up. Exhaling, bending from the waist, folding forward. 3 breaths here in your sitting forward fold, your Paschimottanasana. 2 more breaths. Release the strap, walk the palms back up. As we come into our seated twist, bringing the right hand to the left knee. The left big toe mound presses into the mat as we bring our left hand behind us for kickstand. We're externally rotating the shoulder open. Circle sweeping, inhaling the right arm up. You can either hug the knee in or use the elbow. Inhaling. As we exhale, we twist deeper, releasing our breath, making more room in our navel. Inhaling. Exhaling. Once more, inhaling, untwisting a bit, then exhaling. Next inhale, release your left leg, bring it out in front, coming into our left-sided Janusir Sasana. Again, folding the right leg in here as we make contact with both of our sits bones, circle sweeping arms up, rotating to the left as we extend from the waist all the way forward. And also, of course, use your strap here to bring the head closer to the knee. 3 breaths. So important to feel in yoga. To give yourself time and space in these poses. Last breath here. Inhaling, we're walking the palms up. And then into our Baddha Konasana, seated butterfly pose. Bottoms of our feet are together, hands are at our ankles here, and we're fluttering our butterfly wings. Welcoming just a little bit of synovial fluid into the hips. Sitting up tall. Inhaling. Exhale, walking the palms forward. Now, if you need blocks to protect your knees, this is exactly what these are for. Sitting up tall so you don't overextend the knees. And inhaling and exhaling as we roll forward. 3 breaths here. Last breath. Inhaling up, setting the blocks to the side, any props off the mat here. So we come into our Savasana pose. I always like to put a bolster underneath my knees. And we should stay in Savasana for at least 3 minutes as we exhale, coming back into our corpse pose. I like to have a blanket on me because we cool down really quickly after our yoga practice. Coming into our Savasana, bringing the legs at least about 20 inches apart, and the hands about 10 inches from the body. Let's take a big, deep breath, filling up our bellies, and then exhaling to settle in. Let's inhale, filling up. Exhale to sink in. Thank you so much for joining me, yogis. The divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. Namaste.